Hi, I'm Allison Senefante, Director of Strategic Communications at Live Action, and I'm here with Representative Ron Estes from the great state of Kansas. Thanks for being with me today.
Thank you, Allison.
We got to sit down and discuss Live Action's recent Aiding Abusers report. This investigative report compiles victim testimonials, health document reports, court cases, and police records from around the country that show that Planned Parenthood, the nation's largest abortion provider, is failing to report cases of child sexual abuse. And I just wanted to take a moment. I was so moved by Representative Estes' leadership on this, and I wanted to gauge your reaction. What's your reaction to this report?
You know, I'm shocked, but I'm not really surprised. You know, we've heard all these stories for years about Planned Parenthood not reporting all of the abortions they've been providing and making sure that they've actually been covering up the treatment of young kids that, minors, either mistreated by family members, mistreated by an older boyfriend, or even involved in human trafficking. And that's just, they're innocent victims, and we need to make sure that they're protected.
Absolutely. And we talked about the stories of these girls who were actually being taken by their abusers to Planned Parenthood, telling Planned Parenthood employees that they were being abused, and Planned Parenthood failed to report that abuse, even though they're mandated by law to do just that. And part of what you've been working on, I know, is calling for leadership on taking action to make sure that this isn't happening and to actually see how prevalent this crime is. We only know of the stories of the girls that we have had the resources and the bravery to come forward. So what's being done to kind of end this problem and expose this crime?
Yeah, that's kind of bad. What's in the background is that the Planned Parenthood organization's not been following state law. Mm-hmm. And so what we're really pushing for and is moving forward now with Health and Human Services is looking at revising the rules for Title X and looking at adding in the Protect Life rule, mm-hmm. which basically says an abortion provider can't apply for Title X funding. They've got to make sure that their abortion facilities are separate from their family planning facilities, because the whole intent of the Title X funding is to make sure that good family planning practices, information, and support is provided. Mm-hmm. And so we want to make sure that the money's used for that and make sure that it's segregated from being able to provide abortions, or we don't want medical facilities to be coerced into talking about providing abortions. And we want to make sure that facilities that do provide abortions mm-hmm. report cases under the prevailing state law and make sure that these minor girls, in a lot of cases, the cases are turned over so that their abusers can be prosecuted.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. That's important. You and other members of Congress signed a letter to Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar calling for just that, an investigation into these abortion entities that do receive Title X funding to ensure that they are not performing abortions, co-locating with abortion provider facilities, and lastly, encouraging them and asking them to document how they're handling these cases of sexual abuse. Our country's having a national conversation around the Time's Up and Me Too movement about ending sexual abuse of women and actually exposing those who knew of the abuse. And so we need everyone sounding in to make sure that we know abortion is an abuse against a woman and her child, but it's often coupled with other abuses, and we're ending that in whole. So thank you for your leadership on doing just that.
Thank you.
Taxpayers do not want their money going to these entities.
That's right. We talk so much about making sure people aren't abused, mm-hmm. making sure that they don't fall into human trafficking situations. And we want to make sure that the federal law doesn't support that, doesn't support those people that are providing or causing abuse or support the human traffickers. And so we've really pushed for that. We would encourage individuals to, this is kind of the critical time during the rest of the month of July. Secretary Azar and Health and Human Services are looking for comments on the Protect Life rule, making sure that people weigh in on what's going on. So we really would encourage everybody in the country to go to Regulations.gov and record your comment. Let them know that you really don't want taxpayer money being used, and that we expect organizations like Planned Parenthood who do provide abortions to follow the state law, make sure that any abuse is reported.
Absolutely. These new Title X rules are pro-life, they're pro-woman, and we love that. So absolutely, we need to go and submit comments. The deadline for that is July 31st, so the urgency is there. That's this next couple of weeks. You can do that through the website that Representative Estes just mentioned. You can also do it at liveaction.org/aiding abusers, the title of the report, and you can go and click and send your comment right there. Is there anything else, Representative Estes, that you want people to know about or to think about after hearing about what you guys are doing?
I think I just want to thank you for the opportunity to talk about this and how important this issue is. And when we talk about one of the roles of the federal government is making sure we protect citizens, and obviously we need to protect the innocent from being abused.
Absolutely, well said. Thank you so much. So thank you all for watching. Continue to follow along with what's going on, not only in society but in politics and law. And we look forward to working with you and hearing from you. Thanks.